Hello everyone. I am delighted to introduce our comprehensive new publication with the Sahitya Bhawan Publishers, a textbook that will redefine how you understand and apply India's new Income Tax Act 2025. This just another taxation textbook. We have created a comprehensive guide that bridges the gap between theoretical knowledge and practical application. Whether you are a student preparing for professional examination, for a university examination, or a practicing tax professional navigating the new legislation, or an academic seeking a structured teaching resources, this book has been specially designed with you and you in mind. The new Income Tax Act of 2025 represents a watershed moment in Indian taxation history. After decades of amendments and modifications, we have a completely rewritten, modern and streamlined tax code. And our tax book is one of the first comprehensive guide to help you this matter. The background and motivation for this book. The genesis of this project stems from a critical need we identified in the educational and professional landscape. When the new Income Tax Act 2025 was enacted, it brought it with fundamental changes in the structure, terminology and approach. The old textbook and it has commentaries and reference materials, while valuable for this time, simply address this new framework. We recognize three key challenges. Firstly, students and professionals needed resources that did not just list provisions but explained and underlined principles and rationale. Secondly, there was a desperate need for practical computation guidance, step-by-step examples that demonstrate how theory translates into tax calculations. Thirdly, in today's dynamic business environment, understanding tax planning and management strategies that is optional. It is not optional, but it is essential. Our book addresses all three challenges. We have spent countless hours and analyzing the new act, consulting with the practitioners and designs, examples, and reflect real-world scenarios you will encounter in practice. The new Income Tax Act 2025, when we talk about it, understanding the transformation. 2025 Act is not merely an update. It is a complete reimagination of India's direct tax framework. Let me highlight the key features of that make it legislation truly transformative. Simplified language and structure is there. Local recognition is there. Reduced litigation. Then digital approach that we'll explain later. Streamlined compliance, enhanced transparency. These are the main features that we are addressing here. Now let us have a look on the structure of the book. The title is Income Tax Act 2025, Principles, Computation and Contemporary Applications, including tax planning and management, applicable for tax year 2025. This is the first edition and the first comprehensive academic resources exclusively covering the new act. Historic opportunity for publishers and educators. The authors, Dr. Mustafa Kozhikkal, me, and my professor, Abdul Azeez. I would like to publish this with the Sahitya Bhawan Publications. This is a landmark shift in the Indian taxation. Replacement of the Indian Income Tax Act 1961 entirely. Effective from 1st April 2026, that means coming financial year. Most significant tax reforms in 64 years. First academic textbook exclusively on the new Act, 2025. Existing textbooks became obsolete. Universities revising syllabi urgently. No comprehensive textbook currently available. Then the core objectives of this textbook, we identified in-depth understanding of the new tax 25 Act principles. Simplified computation under the 2025 framework. Contemporary applications and case orientation. Legislation to practice, bridge. Academic plus professional relevance. Structural simplification by the numbers from the old act to new. Sections reduced from old act 1961, there was 819, now it is reduced to 536. Chapters, there was 47, now it is reduced to 23. Language simplified by nearly 50%. Complicated terms are avoided. 39 tables and 40 formulas introduced. Then conceptual innovation, the tax year. That's the most important aspects here in the 2025 Act. Unified tax year introduced April to March, the financial year. Shift to tax year system. That means eliminating previous year and assessment year. Confusion is over. Only tax year, that is a financial year. Use of clauses instead of sections. Earlier it was numbered as sections. Now it is renamed as clauses. There is no sections now, it is a clauses. Unified TDS under clauses 393. Consolidation of TDS provisions. All the TDS provisions are consolidated into 393 clause. Unified framework replacing confusion. And also benefit students and practitioners. No longer judge dual calendars. Assessment year, previous year, like that, no issue. Now, the new default tax regime, as we are aware, the tax regime now, old and new regime. The new regime introduced, close 2202. Default tax regime based on statutory, strategic opt-out mechanism explained. The taxpayer was earlier given an option, opt-out from new regime to old one. That is stopped. Then comparative illustrations included. Student-friendly computations models, simplified for students and taxpayers. Default tax regime as mandatory baseline, no deductions allowed. In the new system, what is the amount available? Tax is to be paid. No complicated deductions under Chapter 6A like that, ATC to ATU is not there. Few is sustained. Comprehensive mapping of updated tax slabs. Strategic opt-out. Insights for taxpayers within high deductions. Detailed illustration showing when old regime is beneficial. Chapters 1 to 4, the textbook are dedicated to comprehensive explanations. Now thematic chapter structure. Foundations are there. Deductions are there and reliefs. Special provisions. Administration. Tax planning and management. That is specially introduced for university and institute students. Chapter part, the first part is foundations. Preliminary and definitions are there. Basis of charge, exempted incomes, incomes of heads of income, and a computation of total income. Then focus we are putting on salaries and house property. That is first two heads of income. Calculations, clauses 15 to 25. Modern salary computation, revised house property rules, removal of obsolete deductions. Then business and professions, profit and gains of business or profession. Clauses 26 to 66, simplified depreciation, presumptive taxation. Earlier also it is there. Now it is very simple for the business persons and those who are not filing return of income or those who don't have TDS, presumptive taxation. Then capital gains and income from other source. Here, this tax introduced virtual digital assets. Revised capital gains framework. Earlier that computation, so many computation schemes like indexation is removed. Crypto and NFTs, buyback taxation, all this included under capital gains. Then there is regarding the income from other source also, a structural change is made. So the tax, whatever the income, the assessee can pay tax, the computations will be very easy and straightforward. Aggregation and deductions. When coming to the simplified deductions, rational loss, carry forward and set off, investment versus expenditure. All these things are very clearly explained without any ambiguity. Then tax administration and assessment. Under this chapter, all these previous administrative laws are included, but the sections are changed into clauses, reduced it, and also very uniform way it is presented. From the income tax authorities, clauses are 236 to 261. Their powers, etc. is explained. Return of income, different types of return of income. All these things are explained on 262 to 267. Then procedure for assessment, clauses 268 to 301. Then special provisions for persons, clauses 302 to 355. That means individuals, this HUF, company, all these things. Then appeals, revision, alteration, alternate dispute, resolution, clauses 356 to 389. Then collection and recovery of tax, clauses 390 to 430. Then refunds, penalties, offences and prosecution, and miscellaneous provisions are included, up to 536 clauses. Now the tax planning, we introduced especially on looking into the needs of the universities and especially PG students and professional institute students, tax planning. Here we clearly explained tax planning, tax evasion, tax avoidance, and GAR, ethical compliance also. It is useful for university students. Then strategic planning for individuals, business, and capital decisions under tax planning. Then there is comparative mapping. Old Act versus New Act, clauses, it is, present one is clause based. Earlier it was section based. Close to transition. Then student friendly. Earlier it was professional friendly because there was tedious calculations and complex provisions was there. Now it is simplified, student friendly. Then computation models also. Step by step tables are provided. So very simple to calculate. Even a layman can calculate looking into the provisions. Formula based, exam oriented also. Students who are looking for professional exams as well as PG exams of universities, this is a good stuff. Then digital economy, gig, that's the new things. Especially the new, only the required employees 9 to 15, that means on daily basis. Students, employees are rented. That is the gig economy is a labor market characterized by short-term contracts or freelance work rather than permanent. The permanent, when a company is holding permanent employee, he need to be given so many other than salary, so many social security and other measures has to be followed. But in the case of small firms, this is gig workers is very good. So regarding that, there is a provision in the New Income Tax Act. Cross-border incomes from anywhere is to be considered. Then e-commerce and TCS. E-commerce, as we are all aware, now this is the era of ICT enabled e-commerce era. So here the taxes or tax system is cope up with the new e-commerce and TDS matters. AI faceless administration, AI, artificial intelligence. Yeah, that is the AI security. Sorry, AI scrutiny. The system, the Income Tax Act department, once a return of income is filed, it is scrutinized by AI, not manual. So 100% foolproof, no error at all. If there is error in the input, there will be error on the output. GIGO, yes. So, and faceless assessment. For the purpose of assessment, assessee need not go to the income tax office. He can, through online, he can file as well as he can do the risk assessment and these things. Then tech-enabled planning. Nowadays, the planning also. The tax planning can also be technology-oriented, simple. So that even under tax management, the payment of taxes can be scheduled. So there will not be any problems. Very easy as well as hurdle-free for the taxpayer. Then target audience. Our book is targeted on students of universities and professional institutes, CA, CMA, CS, etc. Then other professional income tax professionals, CA chartered accountants, cost accountants, like professionals. Then academicians, professors and those who are working in universities and institutes, then policy makers also. Then there is our target audience and market potential. We have BCom, BBA, MCom, MBA students. In India, 20 plus lakh students and professionals annually. There are 1,200 universities and its faculty members. 3 lakh CA, CMA, CS aspirants every year. 2 lakh plus practicing tax professionals. And also stable syllabus-driven demand for universities. Since the 2025 Act is coming into force on 1st April 2026, the syllabi of universities and institutes also need to be revised accordingly. These are authors, myself, Dr. Mustafa Kozhikkal, as well as Professor M. Abdul Azeez. We have decades of experience and have a glance on our experience, taxation, and our unique combination when we join together. Academic rigor meets practical insight. We have teaching experience with thousands of students, consultation with hundreds of taxpayers, current with every taxation development. So this partnership is uniquely positioned to others in the textbook that balance theoretical rigor with practical application, making complex taxation accessible to diverse learners while maintaining academic excellence. This book represents not just our technical knowledge, but our passion for making taxation accessible, understandable, and even interesting. Then why these authorial partners is unique, why the others are unique. It is just explained, combined academic excellence, theory, computation, scenario, synergy, then academic leadership and industry exposure, curriculum and policy experts, while myself, Mustafa Kozhikkal, is an expert in taxation, in the calculation, computation, and in the ITR submission. My colleague, a co-author, Professor M. Abdul Azeez, is a policy maker. He is having vast experience in the public finance, taxation, and other tax areas. Why this book is dominate? The competitive advantage is we want to express. The first mover. There is no taxation book in the market right now because this is coming to on existence on 1st April 2026 only. The first comprehensive academic textbook in online tax on income tax 2025. This is academic textbook, first textbook available in the market. Then pedagogically superior design, dual academic professional focus, complete clause-wise coverage. Entire clauses of the Income Tax Act 2025 is covered here. Zero direct competition at launch. There will not be any more competition at present that I know. Examination oriented and classroom ready for professional institutes as well as university students. High switching cost after adoption. Default national reference potential. Every universities as well as libraries can have a copy. Then market ready, critical knowledge gap. No existing textbook as I explained earlier. 1961 Act textbooks became obsolete right now. Urgent need for across universities, high potential for relevance. Then there is a first mover advantage is there. Act operational from 1st April 26. University adoption cycle is May, June. And professional syllabus revision is coming. Zero competition window right now. Now, strategic fit. Why Sahitya Bhawan? Why we selected Sahitya Bhawan? 6 decades of publishing excellence with Sahitya Bhawan. Pan-India distribution network strength and reach, very high. Strong commerce and taxation catalog, everything is there. Why? High institutional credibility. Ideal platform for national standard textbooks. These are the credentials for this Sahitya Bhawan publications, distinguished publishing, then commitment to quality, affordability and accessibility, extensive distribution network across India, and their contact information also available. And this proposed book has around 800 to 1,000 pages. Hardcover and paperbound formats are available. UG, PG, professional level, clear and accessible English, and executive timeline we are looking for. Editing, proofing 1 to 2 months, that means by February. Printing and production 6 to 8 weeks. Launch March, April. Perfect alignment with Academic Cycle and Finance Act. Immediately after passing the Finance Act 2026, it will be launched. And marketing and distribution strategy, university adoptions, professionals and institutions, libraries and online platforms like Amazon, Flipkart and other national and international platforms. And unique selling propositions also we have just added. Close-wise explanation, 300 more illustrations, 500 more practice questions, adapted questions of institutes like CA, ICWA, CMA, and universities, professional institutes. Then dedicated and integrated tax planning and tax management for university students, and financial snapshot, cover prices competitive for students and professionals. Handsome price for professional, hardbound and library editions with a ready reckoner support. And recurring annual editions we are assuring. Digital explanation scope, strong academic adoption base, and also rare first mover opportunity we have as explained earlier, and define national standard in taxation education, capture market before competitors respond, build a long-term flagship academic title, proceed with the publishing agreement and production, target March, April 26 launch, lead India's tax education from reform together. And this is our last slide, and you can contact. We are available in bookstores that we will add after publishing, and order online can also be you can do, and bulk discounts also available to bookshops and education institutions. And once you scan this code, you can reach us. Thank you very much.